threats and opportunities to e-workers and e-entrepreneurs on the labor market. Welcome to the module Monitoring of Changes in the Labor Market. This MOOC course aims to promote the use of social media for enterprise. Threats and opportunities to e-workers and e-entrepreneurs in the labor market. Part 1. Global Challenges of Work and Business. Part 2. Threats and opportunities for the e-worker. Part 3. Threats and opportunities for the employer. Part 4. E-labor market analysis and future trends. Part 5. The relationship between e-business and type of firm. Key aspects. Part 1. Global Challenge of Work, e-business. Advances in technologies have had a profound impact on the business practices of many organizational functions, including financial system, sales, marketing, and production. Only recently we have seen an increased interest of HR function in IT for recruiting and selecting applicants. The Internet first emerged as a recruiting tool in the mid-90s and was hailed in the popular management press as the driver behind a recruiting revolution because of the benefits it could bring to recruiters. Indeed, some authors suggested that the Internet had revolutionized the way the people look for work and brought radical change to corporate recruiting. Moreover, companies in both the private and public sectors use their websites to recruit applicants more than for any other human resource management activity. Today, speed and accuracy are the successful factors of recruitment, like every other aspect of business. With increasing number of qualified applicants chasing a decreasing pool of jobs, HR professional needs to find ways to sort through applications quickly while accurately selecting the best candidates. Every day, millions of people turn to the Internet for job searching. In addition, more than 70% of organizations practice web-based recruitment. One reason for this rapid adoption of web-based recruitment is the reduction in recruitment cost of up to 95% of the traditional recruitment sources. Another reason is that web-based recruitment significantly increases the number of resumes received as well as the volume of qualified applicants from which to choose. It is obvious that web-based recruitment has become a mere medium for recruitment. Main reason for this rapid adoption of web-based recruitment: reduction in recruitment cost of up to 95% of the traditional recruitment sources, increase of the resumes received as well as the volume of qualified applicants from which to choose. In a 2014 global survey of human resources professionals undertaken by KPMG, international consulting company specialized in auditing, tax, and advisory services, member firms worldwide, most respondents say that addressing skill shortages is a higher priority. Skill shortages appear likely to increase as globalization and competitive pressure take hold across sectors and industries, and improving economic conditions spur employees to seek new jobs. Respondents to the KPMG questionnaire also stated that the most often named root cause of talent and the skill shortages is generational. younger skilled workers seem less interested in traditional roles and see themselves as free agents, and management has been slow to respond. The scarcity of people with skills required for new emerging roles is perceived as the most critical market shortage. So, in this scenario, a business could play an important role as a good connection between companies and job searchers. The Internet is becoming an essential job search tool. Understanding how it works and its advantages and disadvantages is helpful to the job seeker. The Internet represents a powerful, fast-changing, fluid source of information. Although it is not without its difficulties and frustration, Internet can be a great way to network with professionals in different fields and organizations, even though you do not generally interact face-to-face. As in any interpersonal situation, use good judgment or etiquette in your interaction. Developing relationship, building up your contact, sharing information, getting advice, and establish a credible presence in your field can be done with mailing lists, professional association websites, chat rooms, and Usenet news groups. The Internet could help job hunters in different ways. Job posting, where employers have a place to post jobs. Resume CV posting, where job hunters are able to post requests in the hope that potential employers will read it and call them. Testing and career advice. There are thousands of websites to help job seekers with their job search, from everything to writing resumes, practicing for interviews, and completing interest tests to determine what kind of work they should be doing. Research companies to prepare for interviews, research salaries, research, well, pretty much anything. Contacts, also called networking in the physical world. Job seekers can tell friends or email potential employers telling them you are looking for a job. Principal benefits of using the Internet in your job search include the ability to access timely job notice around the clock, locate unusual or difficult to find career information, communicate with professional or resource group in specialized areas, research companies, organizations, and agencies, post, resume, apply online for position. Using effective research strategies, job seekers can locate specific and detailed industry and employee data on the Internet. The better job seekers are skilled in keyword and advanced search techniques, the more efficiently they can research employers by location, industry, occupation, or employer name. The following resources can help you identify potential employers. Moreover, they can provide details that can give you the edge when writing letters, resumes, and interviewing, such as contact information, basic facts, financial status, history, philosophy, mission, goals, and work environment. Internet represents a powerful, fast-changing, fluid source of information, although it is not without its difficulties and frustration. The main threats and principal drawbacks of using the Internet include vast, sometimes unwidely amounts of career and job search information, privacy issues related to posting your resume online, over-utilizing Internet while underutilizing other career resources, print, people, etc. The disappearance or relocation of useful career sites without notice. Part 3. Threats and opportunities for the employer. The Internet has changed the recruitment process. By creating a website with a vacancy section, employers can, for example, make their external and internal job boards more accessible and more visible to a broader audience as well. Moreover, information about the organization can be provided to potential applicants at a lower cost and may also alleviate inaccurate negative information from company independent sources, which cannot be controlled. Many contemporary organizations now commonly use the Internet effectively to transmit information to prospective applicants. Some companies seek the services of third-party sites, for example Monster.com, which benefit the organization by posting their job openings to various websites. Third-party sites allows applicants to access job search engines, which make it possible for them to scan various job openings that have been posted on the Internet. Job search engines also enables applicants to post their resumes to various job boards of interest. Once third-party sites collect these resumes in their databases, they forward them to the appropriate organization. Other companies often exploit other electronic recruitment avenues, which entails creating and using their own web pages to attract applicants. As the main goal of web-based recruitment is to enlarge the potential qualified candidate pool, a large body of research focuses on how the design elements of the recruit-oriented website influence applicants' attraction to the organization. The design elements examined include what contents can best promote or sell the organization to applicants, usability, aesthetics, speed, and attractiveness of the website interfaces. The general conclusion from these studies is that both the content and the style of a company recruitment web pages can influence the company's attractiveness to applicants. The simplest use of social networking as a recruitment tool is simply for organizations to have an online presence so that potential applicants are aware of available jobs. This is especially important for small to moderate-sized firms, not among the big-name companies in their field. The major companies such as AT&T, Southwest Airlines, and the Mayo Clinic might be household names to most job seekers, but they have not relied on this to attract applicants. Indeed, major companies like this are already at the forefront of social media recruitment. Social media can be used in a number of ways to facilitate recruitment. Facebook and Twitter can be used to drive traffic towards a career page or blog where information about recruitment is frequently updated. LinkedIn remains a popular platform for recruitment, with around 90% of HR professionals using it as a tool to hire new staff. Smartphones have also altered the way firms recruit and the way in which candidates search for positions. Many people today, particularly young adults, use their phones to go online rather than accessing information via a computer. Therefore, firms wishing to attract young applicants, such as recent graduates, need to make their recruitment information accessible to smartphone users. Employees of the organization may hereby spread vacancies to their friends or professional connection using their profile page on Facebook or by an email to all their LinkedIn connection, thus broadcasting on a larger scale. as individuals are found to be highly selective on those they refer to their organization due to reputation effects. The added value of social networks could, however, be rather limited. Finally, the visibility of one's network to outsiders, both on Facebook and on LinkedIn, facilitates organization active recruitment efforts. By analyzing their employees' networks, names of potential applicants can quite easily be found. More qualitative information is, however, yet to be obtained from the owners of these networks themselves. As with recruitment, social networking may also affect decision-making in the selection phase. The empirical evidence on the relationship between the use of the Internet as a recruitment channel and job performance is not definite at this point. On the one hand, use of the Internet clearly offers significant advantages that may be associated with better performance. The lower cost of advertisement has been widely recognized as one of key strengths of the Internet. Larger geographic and increased number of applicants are also frequently cited as main deal breakers in favor of the Internet. Finally, a large cohort of authors also agree that a major advantage of e-recruitment is the ability to reduce the recruitment cycle. Arguably, larger geographic greater audience and a reduced recruitment cycle may lead to a better pool of enlisted. On the other hand, there are also some negative aspects associated with the use of the Internet. The primary concern for employers is an adverse selection of the Internet hires. The Internet has significantly reduced the cost of obtaining job-related information about a company. As a result, enlistees who use the Internet as the main recruitment channel may have lower commitment to the company. In other words, the company is ending up with employees who were not very interested in the specific job and in the absence of the Internet were significantly less likely to enlist. To top it all, Internet hiring may have lower skill of interpersonal communication. Therefore, they rely more on the Internet resources as opposed to the more traditional means of communication. Arguably, such a reduced communication skill may be correlated with a lower job performance. Part 4. E-labor market analysis and future trends. The Internet is rapidly becoming a favored medium of both employer and job seekers. It seems likely to reduce frictional unemployment, increase productivity, and because it will force compensation to be tied more closely to productivity, it may increase wage inequality. Besides expanding in size, online job search sites have expanded in scope. Early uses of the Internet for job search consisted largely of electronic bulletin boards. These are essentially online versions of classified advertisement. In fact, the Internet's second most visited job site remains a consortium of some 19 newspapers providing linked online versions of their print ads. But recent services being added to some Internet job search sites include pre-screen of candidates to reduce the number of irrelevant applications seen by an employer, selective email interaction between workers and candidates, expanded online information about the job and the firm to allow the worker to decide whether he or she would like to work there, online skill and personality testing of applicants, online interview, video clips of the employee in action, enhanced worker and firm confidentiality, and hot links to an employee's previous employers. Specific sites lets employers see resumes of high-tech contract employees that are updated each week by the employee. These are also updated by the contractor's current employer to support the worker's claims. If the Internet can be expected to increase overall wage inequality, will it also exacerbate existing racial, ethnic, and gender gaps in labor market outcomes? Considerable concern about this issue has recently been expressed in the United States, with a particular focus on the digital divide in access to technology across racial lines in the nation's school, national public policy, and some highly visible philanthropists have already responded to this issue with the creation of various programs to distribute hardware, software, and technical skills to disadvantaged schools throughout the country. But the results also predict future trends. The racial and ethnic gaps in Internet job search among unemployed workers are completely explained by differences in access to technology. In fact, if we focus only on an unemployed person with Internet access from home, Internet job search is considerably higher among blacks and Hispanics and than among whites. As Internet access continues to expand, especially among minority groups, this high condition use rate suggests that the gender gap in electronic job search could soon be eliminated. Rather than exacerbating racial and ethnic unemployment differentials, the Internet, by providing a low-cost, more objective and anonymous alternative to informal networks, could in fact work to reduce these differentials. The gains from information and communication technologies need to be seen in the context of globalization and the removal of trade barriers between countries. Globalization is a second driver of change, and in a labor market which has seen many trade barriers lowered, if not removed, firms have increased choice regarding the location of production. With the development of ICT, it is increasingly possible for products and services to be produced anywhere in the world and exported. ICT enables the creation of complex supply chains, which can benefit from the relative economic advantage possessed by a particular country. Part 5. The relationship between e-business and type of firm. Key aspects. E-recruitment is quickly becoming a prevalent human resource management practice worldwide. In addition to providing information about the hiring, organization, and position available, an important component of e-recruitment is the availability of online job application forms. It is not surprising that so many companies choose to use the Internet to administer job application forms, given the many practical benefits compared with traditional methods, including lower costs for the hiring organization, a reduction in the hiring cycle time, and 24/7 access for job applicants regardless of their physical location. Research and studies emphasize the most often named root cause of talent and skill shortage is generational. Younger skilled workers seem less interested in traditional roles and see themselves as free agents, and management has been slow to respond. The scarcity of people with the skill required for new emerging roles is perceived as the most critical market shortage.